Alright, so today's Tuesday, waking up here in Alain, Belgium at Alain's house, a little after 8 a.m. Feel pretty good after the whole jet lag, catching up on my sleep and everything. I think game plan is we're going for a little bit of a ride today. I'm going to head downstairs first, find some caffeine and a little something to eat. Looks like a beautiful day, so I'll be bringing you guys along on this trip. Got Alain's 1290 Super Adventure S right here. I'm going to be on Nicky's VFR 800. We're just going over the tires this morning, make sure everything's properly inflated. Getting ready to take off here in just a minute. Actually not going very far to begin with. We're going to go up here and get some gas as soon as we cross over into Luxembourg. This bike's got pretty close to a full tank on it, but I know Alain needs some and might as well top them off before we really get out on the ride today so we don't have to fool with it later. I'm really going to have to get used to this whole kilometers thing because I feel like 55 is really fast when I know it's not. Alright, so we just topped off the fuel tanks. I think we're going out. Alain showed me the route earlier today. We're going to be we're in Luxembourg right now. We started out in Belgium. I think we cross over into France. It's about a 4.5 hour ride, but that's not including our stops. We're going to see a couple of castles. Like, I have no idea where we're going. But before we get going too far, huge thanks to his son Nicky for loaning me out his VFR here for the next few days. I'm pretty comfortable on this bike. The ergos are pretty much like they were on the old VFR I had. Mine was the old VTEC model, and in addition to that I had some Healy riser bars on it. This one has a quick shifter, at least going up, which makes it pretty nice. So anyway, big thanks to him. I might have to adjust the fork preload just a little bit because I got Kristen on the back of it. We adjusted the shock. That feels pretty good, but front feels just a little bit spongy, so might have to adjust that later. But anyway, gonna enjoy today. We're not going out anywhere overnight. We will be back later this evening. It's just a day ride, so kind of get my feet wet over here in Europe, see what it's all about, and hopefully be able to hang with Alain because I'm giving up a little bit of horsepower to him today, and I'm riding 2 up. So now I know how he feels when he was over riding with me when I put him on a Ducati 620 while I was on my super adventure. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the sights and everything today, and show you around the places we're going. This is the first European motorcyclist I've waved to. So we started out the day in Belgium. We were quickly in and then back out of Luxembourg. And just a couple, maybe a handful of kilometers ago, we just crossed over into France. So I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just following this man in front of me. So obviously our first stop of the day was a castle here in France. We actually did pass through Germany for like a split second earlier, but lots more riding left to do. Alright, so fun stop here in France. Alan's remounting his bike right now. We're planning on stopping for lunch here next hour or so. Weather is super nice. Alright, so is this when we cross back into Germany right here? So now we're... Oh, did I just miss the flag? Oh. And now we're back in... Oh, are we back in Belgium now? Or are we back in Luxembourg? Or we're getting ready to get back in Luxembourg? I don't know. It would help if I could read a foreign language. Does Ram McNally make road atlases for Europe? I feel like I need one. You give me that, I'll figure it out in a few minutes. Alan's trying to get me to run over there. I feel like we're crossing back into something when we go across this bridge here. I could be wrong. I'm guessing this is Luxembourg. Should say it. Yeah, there it is, right there on the sign. I think we're pretty much spending the rest of the day here, and then we'll cross back into Belgium. You know, we're ready to go back to Alain's tonight.
Basically fake ham.
Bon appetit. Alright, so nice little lunch there. This is cool while they have this motorcycle only parking over here. I don't feel like a second-rate citizen like I do in the US, where they pretend like we don't exist. You may have seen Alan point up to a sign back there, and if I'm able to get a clean enough shot of it, I'll put it back up. But it says radar. Essentially, you know, kind of like back in the US where we have the speed cameras and the stoplight cameras and stuff. That's what's going on through here. So I just have to slow down a little bit. Otherwise, Nicky's probably going to end up with a ticket in the mail, which he'll then mail to me. So don't want to do that. Well, this is kind of like riding in West Virginia, down along some of those river spots. Alright, so this section of road actually is pretty reminiscent of back home. So unfortunately the road's out right here. It's not the first time that's happened today, but just using this as a quick rest stop. I think Alan walked down the road there a little bit, get a drink of water, that sort of thing. Kristen's over here playing in the weeds or flowers or what have you. You can hear the equipment back up in there, whatever they're working on. Pretty cool right now. We are riding down kind of along the base of this hill. See the rock face over here on the left. We got a know if it's a creek or a river there on our right, one or the other. A little hard to see. Just having an outstanding time riding today. It is much different than US, being that you're not going real far before you come up on the next town, where on the East Coast, I mean, there's spots I can go ride where we can go ride for an hour before we come up on the next town, or at least the next spot where you have to slow down. And obviously if you're out west, you can ride for hours. We're here, I don't know, normally about 10-15 minute mark, it's you're up on another small town, which are really cool. They're not like the some of the rundown places I've been to back closer to where I live. These are a little more historic, a little bit cooler to check out. Speaking of which, we've just come up on another small town. Perfect timing. I mean, a lot of these look like they're out of you know, they're off a movie set. Admittedly, we have the later model cars out front, but alright, so just made it back to Alain's house, day one. Fun day. We're gonna get these bikes pulled in, get them cleaned up a little bit, and find something to drink, something to eat.